When Zimmerman was just a little kid, he used to be locked up in his room with his toys and his pet raven. All of this began with his mother's death. She would always play with him in the house and the backyard, but that changed the day they found her dead on her bed. His father told him that his mom committed suicide, but one day the little Zimmerman went out of his bedroom and headed to the basement, where his father walked down the stairs and walked through a lot of very long hallways. And at the end of the hallways there was a wooden door.
Father, are you there?
Zimmerman, how many times have I told you not to come in this room?
I am sorry, Father, but I'm too scared to sleep alone.
Zimmer, don't worry. You will never be alone. Your mother will always be by your side. She is always taking care of you, Zimmer. Alright? Now, please go to your bed.
Yes, Father. Father, tomorrow is...
Yes, it's the anniversary of your mother's death. We're visiting her grave together.
Okay.
Now, go to your bed, please. I will also get some sleep.
Stop! No, please! Help me! Help!
When he heard those screamings, the kid acted like nothing ever happened, but he knew about his father's secret. His father was a scientist. He loved to do research, and he always locked himself in the laboratory on the basement, and little Zimmerman always heard weird noises from the laboratory. Animals and people screaming, and even young Zimmer knew what his father was doing. He just acted like he didn't know, because he loved his father. And that's not the only secret he knew about his father. When his mother and little Zimmerman weren't close, his father and his assistant...
A good simple.
I will organize the remaining materials.
That will have to wait. Maria, get over here.
Doctor, he knows about our relationship.
What does it matter?
He doesn't feel any sort of affection towards me.
The kid will soon turn 11, and I know that it's a troublesome age. Begin to him, please. Make sure he never gets in a bad situation.
Sure thing.
It was midnight, and Zimmerman had awakened. He got out of bed and looked through the window. He stood there a good period of time, just looking at his backyard. After that, he went out of his room to see if his father was sleeping. When he saw him laying in his bed, he suddenly heard some noises coming from the basement. The kid walked downstairs and walked towards the laboratory. Opened the door very slowly. He found himself in the middle of a butchery, full of blood. It had bags filled with arms and legs, and tables covered by white sheets.
What this?
Suddenly, the dead people started to move and get up from their beds. One by one, they began to crawl towards Zimmerman, who runs away from the laboratory and goes upstairs to his bedroom. The moment he opens the door, he sees a woman without an eye, covered in blood because of an operation. The kid is shocked.
Where is my son? You! You filthy kid! Give it back!
Who are you? What are you talking about?
Ah! I'm going to kill you!
Zimmerman runs away and violently closes the door, runs to the forest, and ends up finding his mother's grave.
What happened here? Where is her corpse?
Zimmer! Son, where are you?
Father, he's at my mother's grave. She's not here.
Zimmer, you piece of shit. Where have you been? You scared me. What are you doing here?
Mom, where is she? What did you do to her?
He grabs him by the hair, dragging him to an abandoned hut. He hits the door, making a loud noise.
God damn it. I told you, be a good boy. You have been very disobedient, Zimmer.
He keeps dragging him upstairs to the attic. The kid is now frozen after noticing that in one of the corners of the attic there's a woman in a baby chair. When the woman notices there's someone in the room, she turns around and says,
How lovely. A sweet piece of cake lasts always. How's your day, my lady?
Who's there? It's you! You damn bastard!
The kid is speechless. His father throws him near the woman.
Who is she? I feel like I know her.
Simmer, son!
Beautiful, isn't it? The perfect family back together. Will I better leave burn in hell?
The father goes out of the attic and leaves the hut, locks them inside, and throws a match to burn down the house. Simmer couldn't believe that his mother, who was supposed to be dead, was alive, but in a horrible condition, almost unrecognizable. She was half human, half plastic, with a beautiful dress like a doll, and his father was trying to burn them alive.
Son, you've got to escape! Leave me here! I love you!
But mother... Alright.
Don't say I think. You've got to escape as quickly as possible. Don't worry about me.
Simmer said goodbye to his mother, walked downstairs, and once he was on the first floor, he broke the window and escaped the hut. But after running a long time away from the hut, he encountered his crazy father.
How disobedient! But you won't make it out of this alive.
The father pulls out a knife from his pocket.
Father, stop this! Put that thing down!
Shut up!
Zimmerman runs through the forest, with his mad father chasing after him, trying to kill him, when he suddenly falls over because a tree root.
This is your end, you little brat.
The kid uses his hands to cover his eyes, but someone stopped them. It was a hunter who was walking around the forest. The only thing he had to do was shoot the father in the head with his shotgun. Zimmerman saw his father fall to the ground over a blood pool. The years passed, and Zimmer was no longer a kid. He was a man, and he had a medic consultory. But he wasn't the same. He repeated the story. He had become a monster, just like his father, because he turned his patients into dolls.